Hey guys and girls and everybody in between. Welcome back to another video of me drawing. I started drawing this kind of sword knife thing, but I regretted I regretted early on because I realized I didn't really try. I was just making some shape and I was like, hey, this could be a sword, and it just it just didn't turn out good. But the face I drew after that, I liked that a lot actually. One thing I also would like a lot if you subscribed and joined the Discord, and maybe if you wanted to wrote a comment. That would be really cool. If you want to, of course. Yeah. But I think that not having any markers that are a little bit bigger than my fountain pen is not holding me back, but it just makes these drawings that are cool take hours, which is not a problem. But I just think like I would like for to have a pen or a marker which has a little bit more surface, a little bit more of a point. Yeah, you know what I mean. Just a bigger marker. So I'm gonna work on that, I guess, or find out a solution, I guess. Yeah, I have done like not that much stuff today, other than record a pretty cool video, which will come out tomorrow because I have to edit it. Oh, I'm not done editing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm basically very close to being done with a pretty cool video. It's very different from what I usually do. Um, but I hope you guys will like it. At least I think it's pretty cool, and it's a more personal look into my life. And maybe I'll do a video like that again, but maybe different. I don't know though. I also painted a lot, and to be honest, I finished the painting, which is not the video coming out tomorrow. That will be the day after tomorrow. So what is the 15th? The 17th. Um, I'll try to get the painting video out by the 17th. I really like this painting. It has some really cool qualities. It has some, nice features. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I haven't really done that much today, which I think is fine. Sometimes it's also nice just to relax and do nothing. But I realized, like, especially today, I realized that if I don't have work and I'm not going to work out or have anything really particular that I'm doing for a longer time, the day is really long, like in an insane amount of time. At least it feels like it, and I think that's because I've been going like 150 miles an hour, working 11 hours some days, working, uh, doing all sorts of stuff, which has been fun and of course great for my bank account. Um, but it's I can feel now, like, I think you only feel how stressful. I wouldn't say stressful. I'm not stressed. Don't get me wrong. Stress is a very serious condition. So, but I guess I'm working a little bit more than I would like in terms of, like, being chill. But I get paid, so it works out nice. Um, but I feel it now that I'm like just chilling, and I hope next week, week 30, which will be the 21st of June to the 27th. I hope that will be like that's like my holiday highlight. It's gonna be so awesome. At least I hope it will. I'll do my best to make sure it's kind of awesome at least. I have to pack stuff. I'll probably do that. Like start packing clothes and undergarments and socks and stuff like that tomorrow, just to make sure like I'm not using the stuff that I'm gonna use when I'm in Berlin. And I also have to pick my clothes based on like what we're doing and where we're going. So I can't look like a slob if we decide to go out uh, and get a drink at a more I wouldn't say a fancy bar, but you know, you like my style is sometimes compared to being a little bit of white trash, um, which I don't think is right because I'm Danish, so I don't think we have white trash. But I like distressed, I like used, I like vintage in that sort of like way, and also like punk influence and stuff like that. But either way, I wouldn't say that all my clothes are equally as good to wear in fancier places. But I don't think we'll go to that many fancy places. But you get what I'm saying. It's like I kind of have to dress for the occasion sometimes, so I have to also take clothes like that. And of course, I have to check up the weather. Weather. There's so many hard English words. But yeah, the weather is gonna kill me. So I have to make sure that I take shorts with me if it's hot, or I take pants with me if it's cold, and all these things. But yeah, I don't really have anything crazy to say other than it's a very basic drawing, but I think it's cool. And sometimes I feel I'm a little bit on auto play when I draw, not as a bad thing or as an insult. Like, I've seen very successful artists paint nearly the same picture every time. There's this Danish artist, Johnny Messen, who is also a musician, and he's pretty good in both regards. Not my favorite or a crazy inspiration in any of it, but he's he had a great career. But his paintings weren't necessarily, they were fine. Like, I liked them. A lot of people imitated them because they were quite simple, which I don't like, because they're like Johnny Madsen inspired painting and trying to sell it off for a bunch of money. Was it like, I'm not gonna buy your bad fake, but somebody might might uh, buy it. But yeah. Either way, he did nearly the same picture every every day. Probably like he painted a lot, and like nearly every picture was the same. And there's this other guy who is also like, he's a cool dude, but he's also basically doing the same. He's less known, which is like not a problem, but I think it's just of course there's some of it is just style, where you'll keep on doing things because your style and what you enjoy to paint or draw or whatever you do, or do both. But there's also a part where it's like, if you have something that works, keep doing it, I guess, which I fully agree with. I would say, I think that it's like, it's important to do what not do what you're good at. You should also experiment and do stuff you suck at. But I think it makes sense. Like, it's an art form, but it's also a business. And if you know something works, it's not the time to change it up, I guess. Of course, you can do whatever if you don't really care. I think I paint what I like, you know, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I don't really care. That's up to them. Um, but I do think that if I were to do it for money, I probably would paint other stuff and draw different things. But I'm not, so I won't. If you get my drift. Maybe you can hear some birds in the background. I have the window open because the weather is sort of weird, because it's not cold, but it's not sunny. It's been raining, and it's been like kind of overshadowed by the clouds, the sun. So it's not hot, but it's not cold either. Like, I like it. I think for me it's the best weather, because I can't get sunburned, but it's not freezing too much. But that's just me. But I would rather be freezing though than to be too hot, because you can always put on more clothes and layers and or go inside to stay hot when it's cold, but it comes to a point where you can't remove more clothes if it's too hot. Yeah, that's just my opinion though. But yeah. While I was watching this, actually, um, I want to tell you something crazy. Um, I bought 2 shares of a stock today. I'm not gonna tell you which one because I'm not giving financial advice, but it was from a Danish bank. So you will never know which one it is, but it's a Danish bank because I was like, it had great dividends, and it was like it's a pretty safe choice. Not to have a meteoric rise and become this huge thing, but just to like kind of stay close to the same place or rise a little bit, and then just keep collecting dividends. At least that would be my idea because yeah. But I'm not really a stock dude, so this was just testing it out. I spent $100 of my savings, and I can get it back if I sell them. So I didn't really spend it. I put in $100 of my savings. But the thing is, like, they dropped nearly 1% today. Like I think it's 0.70 something, which is like it's not the worst in the world, and there's nothing really to be worried about. But it's still like that's just not nice that it's today. But I'm like, it's not that I'm doing like if it's like gambling. It's not really like gambling. It's safer, but it has similar elements where it's like you could purchase a stock right as it's about to crash, and the opposite is also you could purchase a stock right when it's about to have a meteoric rise. But don't think of it like that. Don't try to find the next big thing before everyone else, because those stories only become popular because people were investing in random things just because. Um, but yeah, just yeah, this is a pretty fun experiment since like I'm 18 or I'm 19. I'm 19. Yeah, I'm 19 years old, and it's like why not just try it on a smaller scale. It's not anything crazy, and it's not like yeah, but we'll see. Hopefully, it gains some value, I guess. Yeah, as long as it stays very close to the same, at least like instead of going down, that's fine too. But just hopefully it will rise, and I think it will. Not quickly, but just I guess it's bound to a degree, I guess. Yeah, getting really close here with the drawing. I think not the square, but the triangle thing I made on the nose is really cool. It's like a contour in a crazy weird way, which I really like. And of course, just the face in general is super cool. Very basic and really elongated because the nose is huge and the mouth is also like huge. And the eyes have all this stuff around them, which I think a telltale sign of that I painted something or draw it. It's like the eyes usually have a bunch of stuff close to them, usually, but doesn't have to be the case, I guess. Um, yeah, the knife. I wouldn't say it ruins it. It's kind of fun. It's just really bad. So I didn't know why I made it into a knife, but it clearly wasn't a great choice. I would say at least. But yeah, it gets to stay, I guess. And here I'm dropping a very little drop, and that's something I'm trying to learn to control more because since I can make the ink flow a bit too much where it kind of makes drops. I can use these drops to push around more ink if I want, like to cover bigger spaces in completely black ink, which I think is cool. But I'm still working on getting more confident and better in this technique, because it's kind of like risky. At least I would say it's not guaranteed to work. But yeah, either way, I want to say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.